Welcome, everyone, to another episode of What Exit Jersey Stories. I'm your host, Nick Franco, and with me, as always,
I'm Pete Riario,
yes, the Yeti himself.
the Blue Yeti.
Crunchy but
Worship
delicious.
the Yeti.
Yes, we all worship the Yeti. How you doing, Pete?
I'm doing good, man. I have to say, just been really insanely busy with the band. Like we were in
Mhm.
Morristown last night at the laundromat doing our clothing. No, the
Yes.
bar. Every time I say that, they're like, "Oh, do you do your whites there?" And
Be sure to separate. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Say it's a popular it's a speakeasy actually. I'm no Ming Chen, not even a question in my mind knows it. Um,
Mhm.
which is it's hidden behind a set of washing machines. You have to like pull open this door, but they're washing machines, if that makes any sense. And then you go down into this rat skeller, as like we like to call it. But
Oh, wow, really?
yeah, it's such a. I mean, this is our third time there, and like every time we've played there, it's crazy how many people show up down there, and
Sweet,
yeah,
sweet. So
so
I got to get
awesome
over
place.
there sometime. Being that also I work closer to it nowadays.
Right, yeah. Oh yeah,
Over in
feel free anytime. Like I said, we've got another date there. I'll be hard pressed to tell you when, but
they got
yeah.
another
So,
date coming.
but yeah, how about yourself? What's anything new and
Oh no,
exciting?
I've been doing well as well, and just working for a living, working,
I
and
actually got good news yesterday, which today I will probably have like just one celebratory drink, and because I do have to work. But there's no Wall Street Journal tomorrow because of Juneteenth.
right,
So
right.
it's just I just have to watch the wires,
Oh, okay.
the electrical wires because I'm going up
No,
the
no, no,
pole.
no, no.
I'm
You got to watch the tripwires. Like they're sending you in, like
yeah,
to
it's a
retrieve this
landmine
idol.
territory. Yeah, so that's my job today, and to do some like charts and stuff like that. But anyway, the good news that was passed down, like my boss called me yesterday morning. And I'm like, there was a decision that was going to come down as to whether or not we were going to remain working from home because they'd put a notice out that we would have to
Ah,
return to work for 2 to 3 days, right, a week.
right, right.
But so anyway, our department was given an exception. So we are now working from home for the next year,
Oh,
which
wow,
considering
wow.
gas prices, man,
Oh yeah, no, it adds up. But believe me, I commute to the office 3 days a week only. Yeah, I
mm,
work two remote, but even those 3 days, it's 31 miles each way. So
yeah.
it
Oh, I
adds
was
up.
doing, close to 70 each way. So, down in Princeton, but yeah, so, it was welcome news, but let's
Oh,
yeah, that's
so someone very close to you, Pete, and of course to me, my
David
cousin
Oto
Dave. Yes, so watch the live wires because I'm
because I'm
alive.
alive.
Live wire.
I love how
Hey,
Motley Crue kicks off the tour. They're all so excited. All these fans who,
yeah,
who paid, tons of money, probably like, some of the people out front, like paid $300 for a Motley Crue ticket. And Tommy Lee is
Tommy
out
Lee.
now,
Yep.
like breaks his ribs. Like the tour is cursed. It's really just like the Poltergeist movie. Let's put an end to it or take Motley Crue off the tour and they could add
I,
Kingdom
I,
Come and Metallica or something.
I still love also the memes with Vince Neil and the what you call it, the
Oh, there's so
abominable
many.
snow monster of Rudolph.
Oh yes,
Have you
I
seen
think I do.
those?
I have seen
Yeah,
those. Yes.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, where he basically looks pretty much same pose,
Yeah, totally. So anyway, I did. I saw some footage of the show. Like Def Leppard and Poison actually sounded pretty damn good, man. Um,
Oh, excellent,
you know,
excellent.
yeah. Maybe we can't say the same for Motley Crue, but that's okay. Did you ever see Motley
Yeah,
Crue live, Nick?
I have not seen Crew live
Mm.
before.
I saw them on the Theater of Pain tour, and that was
or
fun.
or or as Dave says, Motley who?
Motley Crue.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
and yeah,
That was that band from the '60s.
yeah.
The Motley Who.
You know who opened up for Motley Crue when I saw them? Rock and Roll Crazy Night. Remember
Loudness.
that? Loudness, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Actually, I saw
They
Loudness
were
open
awesome.
for. It was a triple bill. It was,
Doobie Brothers.
and actually, Dave was with me. In fact, I believe for this one too. It was
Oh, because
Loudness, TNT, and Striper was the main act.
wow, that's an awesome bill.
Oh yeah, no, it was a great
Yeah,
great concert too.
amazing.
And Dave just reminding us, King's X July.
Oh, I know, man. I cannot wait. That is going to be just like the greatest night
Oh yeah,
in
oh yeah.
years. Yeah.
But being that you mentioned well, one thing before, you said Juneteenth.
Yes.
Uh, well, just for those that don't know what Juneteenth is, do you?
If you asked me this question last year when it was instituted as a national holiday, I think I'd be able to tell you, and I could make an educated guess, but I'm not going to because I don't want to embarrass myself on the podcast. But you do know, about the holiday. I mean,
Yeah,
it is celebratory. I mean, for African Americans, but
yeah,
there's
correct.
something a little bit more deeper than that, isn't there not? Or
Well, okay. President Lincoln, passed the issued the Emancipation Proclamation,
mm-hmm.
and basically what like the enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation was basically relied on by the advance of the Union troops into the Confederate States. So
Mm-hmm.
by July 19th, not July, how about June? I forgot what date we're at. For what
June.
Yeah, month we're in. June 19th, 1865. The Union troops actually marched into Texas, or they were in Texas, but basically they were able to take control down in Texas, and it was basically then enforced that the as far as all the slaves became free men in Texas. So that that was the last of the Confederate states to actually get the Emancipation Proclamation basically enforced.
Interesting.
So, in some recent news on Juneteenth and like the Civil War and the Underground Railroad, there's actually the National Park Service added another site to the Underground Railroad and added a site to the National Park Service in Newark at the site now of the Frederick Douglass Field.
Yes.
So it's actually interesting that it's Frederick Douglass Field, part of Rutgers. It's part of the the Rutgers like campus and in fields and such. That was actually a church years ago.
Okay.
And that church, well, it was a church and an adjoining property owned by what was the guy's name? Jacob King.
Mm-hmm.
And it became one of the stations along the Underground Railroad. And it is now being proclaimed, actually now a part of the National Park Service as an historical site. And actually earlier this year, there was another one added in, I didn't realize, in Patterson too.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's strange because apparently in New Jersey, more of the Underground Railroad sites were actually more in the south of the state, such as down at Cape May.
Oh.
So that gets a lot more attention, but up north there were other places, but this Newark one was interesting because also like the freemen of the time, they a lot of them in Newark became carriage drivers.
Mm-hmm.
So the carriage drivers got to the whole big made Newark the big transportation hub that we think of nowadays. Like it was started by these carriage drivers, which were all operated by African Americans. That
right.
and they were the ones that helped fund, like this thing for Jacob King, which became the stop on the Underground Railroad.
Hmm. It was funny on what do you call it? The Friday's Jeopardy. The Jeopardy final Jeopardy spoiler alert question was congratulating her on the 1869 release of her biography. Frederick Douglass wrote, "I have wrought in the day, you in the night," and the answer was, and I actually did know this, that it was
Harriet
Harriet
Tubman?
Tubman. But there
Yeah.
was a lot of controversy because one of the contestants like kind of scrawled. You have to see it like she had Harriet, and then the last
Yeah.
name. It was kind of hard to decipher. I don't know if you watch Jeopardy. So now there's
Yeah,
like all this
on occasion. I don't
yeah,
watch all the time, but
that I mean, it looks like she had Tubman, but it looks more like Bach Tallman, who wrote "She's So High." it looked like Tallman, like Harriet Tallman. So they said because it was like illegible and there were other letters in there that they didn't give it to her. But
oh, okay.
I think it's debatable. Let's put it that way. Anyway, that's what I was trying to say. That ties in that funny enough that you brought her Harriet Tubman up, that she was the
Yeah.
final Jeopardy.
Again, that Cape May stop on the Underground Railroad was actually, I believe, the Harriet Tubman like station, as they
Right.
called it. But yeah.
give me,
So
keep
anyway,
talking. I need to like open the door because my freaking kid.
your kid. Your kid. But anyway, the just wishing everyone a celebratory Juneteenth. Being today's the actual day, although for the national holiday, it's being celebrated more Monday. Although New Jersey celebrated Friday, which kind of confused me, but I guess we'll we'll learn more about how I guess state by state it's being done. Pete has returned, but he is silent. The sound of silence. Pete, turn on your microphone. Up, and Pete is nope. He's talking into the ether.
Okay.
There we go. It's okay.
No, like you can't see it, but I've got wires like underneath my laptop here connected to the Blue Yeti.
What wires? Oh no, are they live wires? No.
So like my kitten is like underneath me, just like she's scratching at my feet at the wires. I had to get her out of the anyway, she's gone. Now we can commence.
Wait, wrong. She's gone. But anyway, so again to everyone celebrating Juneteenth. Today, the actual day, Monday, the federal holiday.
Day. Yep.
New Jersey was Friday.
And we were discussing this yesterday,
was
but I do have it right that like banks, post offices are closed, correct?
I believe so, but again, I'm a little confused. I don't know for New Jersey if that means they were closed the other day or if they're closed Monday. I don't know.
I want to say Monday's observed, so I'm thinking
federally observed.
Observed.
But whatever reason, New Jersey was celebrating Friday.
Oh.
On a statewide level.
I'm surprised I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was kind of strange, but
yeah, that is strange.
But I want to do some updates to some of our prior stories and such. One of them, how about we get into the malls?
That's great that you're doing that because I think two of my trivia questions are, two of them have to do with that. But go on.
Well, did you know the late, New Jersey's latest mall that finally opened, and then we hit a pandemic?
You're not going to talk about the atrocity on Route 3, are you?
Yes, I'm going to talk about the atrocity on Route 3. Also, borders 120 there. I love American Dream Mall.
American Dream. I mean, it sounds like a Ben and Jerry's flavor, doesn't it? I mean, but there is Americone Dream or something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the Colbert.
Now, I believe it's in default, right? Am I right on that?
Well, yeah. You're on the right track there. That they just made a $14 million deposit on their bond, on one of their bonds,
Okay.
but apparently the bank is saying, yeah, it's still way behind on its payments.
Oh God. I mean, this project was doomed from the start. Everybody in New Jersey, when we, heard about the construction of it, it's like construction. First of all, they're
Mhm.
building it, at the crossroads of some of the one of the busiest highway corridors in the state of New Jersey, and and then near Giant Stadium, where nothing's going on there at all.
No, no,
Um,
never.
and build it into like the swampland. It's probably already sunk like 3 feet, and they
And
pour all this.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
go on.
and still with this grand idea, the original name was Xanadu.
Yes. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, and
I
then
just wasn't sure if they were gonna get Olivia Newton-John or Rush to the opening.
and I love malls. Like I've actually even, I mean, not maybe not as much anymore, but like I used to. I mean, I would drive out to like King of Prussia Mall because it was such a giant complex, to
Mhm.
to see what their wares were. I have yet to go to American Dream. Have you?
And you know what? The same here.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with malls. I'm surrounded by about five of them, and
Yes. Oh, I used to live in Paramus. I know. Like I
yeah,
was
I was gonna say
like I could.
you're in Mall Central too, and me where
Yeah.
I am in Hackensack, I'm surrounded by the Paramus malls and Riverside
Riverside
in
Square.
Hackensack.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yes, and
And the
it
outlets.
yes, and the outlets.
Hmm.
But if you go back to our earlier like mall episode, yeah, Paramus is really the hub of the mall activity in New Jersey. In fact,
100%.
the one that actually does over $5 billion in retail sales yearly.
Garden State Plaza, right? Oh, no, I'm
Well,
sorry.
no,
Not
Paramus,
what?
Paramus,
Not
the
yes,
zip
not
code of
solely right.
Paramus. Yeah,
Yeah. Between all those malls.
yeah,
Oh
between
yeah,
all
and
those
I mean,
malls.
you just you take a look in the parking lot of what's the name of the outlets? I always they have there's a name for it. The one that's on Route 4,
Oh, Bergen Town Center.
Bergen Town Center. I mean, you'll see license plates. Tons of license plates from New York.
Oh,
Of people
definitely.
coming
A
in.
lot of people come over from New York State, New York City.
Yep.
Where we're very easily to get to, and it's like they come in, they go shopping. Again, the as far as also what is it, clothing?
No
The
sales tax. I
non-tax,
mean,
no sales tax on
right.
clothing here in New Jersey versus New York, which has a higher sales tax rate and does tax on, I forget what the rate with clothing goes. I used to have to know this stuff when when I worked for rag shop back in the day because we had to build all the tax tables for all the different areas, and New York was fun.
Oh,
Yeah, because you
yeah.
had local tax tables versus the state tax tables. So
Right.
um,
Yeah,
yeah,
that American Dream mall though is just like, hey, let's just spend tens of millions of dollars on a Nickelodeon theme park and a what do you call it? Then
an,
an
yeah,
indoor
indoor
ski
ski thing that
center.
that had caught fire and they're finally reopening.
Yes, right. What could possibly go wrong? With just spending money like a Saudi oil billionaire, and you can't even pay your freaking rent. I mean, what is
Yeah,
going on, man?
yeah, they are definitely way behind in in payments,
Yeah.
and so yeah, we'll keep an eye on the American Dream
The
to
ongoing
see.
saga. I mean, that movie is so ripe for a documentary to be made about it, like a
Oh,
Michael
very
Moore
much so.
documentary.
I'm hoping that someone has already been working on this for years because this boondoggle of a project took how many years like to
Yeah,
build because like
right.
it was supposed to open in, I believe it was 2004. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that
how
was the original.
long.
That was the original. Put it this way, McGreevy was our governor when it was supposed to
Yep.
open.
Shout out to Chris
So,
Donnelly who worked for McGreevy. All right.
oh, there you go.
Yeah, he was one of his aides, I believe. Yeah.
But yeah, it. But getting back to Paramus again, Paramus is the retail hub.
Yep.
The mall hub. Go back to our mall episode to
Hmm.
learn more about it. But Paramus actually made an interesting decision lately.
Now, does this
we're we're
does it
we're, we're, we're going to jump into one of our other prior
now
topics.
is this Paramus decision have to do with the stock symbol AMZN?
No, it's not that one. But maybe
Oh,
you
but you
can
do.
enlighten me on that one.
Well, so where the old in the fashion center mall, if you want to even call
Yes.
it that anymore, in that parking lot there was a food. What the hell's the name of that? Fairway Market, right?
Oh, yes, I remember.
Remember that?
Yeah.
They are now using that space. I think I'm right on this. Anyway, I know. I believe it's that space. They're building that Amazon automated the Amazon food market where you just put stuff in your cart and
Oh, wow.
it reads it. It knows what's in your cart and what to charge you. So then you just like walk out. I don't know if you've heard about these stores. They
No, I
already
have
have them
not
in.
heard about this.
There's one in New York City, and I think and there's one out west. And again, I'm not going to give fake news and not knowing where it is, but yeah, so they're building that in Paramus. I mean, that place is
Oh,
for,
I was not aware of that.
because Paramus has no traffic problems. So why
No,
not
no,
build
no,
why
none
not build
whatsoever.
something like this?
None whatsoever, and that's why New Jersey
I mean,
still has the blue law. I mean, hold on a second.
an Amazon food market. How many people could possibly go? I mean, probably about the same amount that go to White Castle. I mean, oh god, it's gonna be another traffic nightmare. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, and I like actually going sometimes over to that to the fashion center thing. Like they do have some places. They have a Best Buy. They have
Applebee's.
a what's that?
Applebee's.
Yeah, well they have an Applebee's, but yeah, what's the thing? Bed Bath and Beyond, Bye
Oh
Bye
right.
Baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
TJ Maxx is upstairs.
any store with a B actually resides in that mall.
That's true. Bambergers, Babbages. Sorry, that's how
Well,
you know you're
maybe not
old.
those two. Those are kind of gone.
What a
Oh
shame.
God, I remember the days of Premise Park and going to Babbage's.
Yeah, Babbage's. God, wow. That was the precursor to Electronics Boutique. Do they?
Yep.
They don't still exist. It's all GameStop now. Like
Yeah.
that's the go-to.
Yeah. That's the sole survivor.
Yes.
Kids,
Right.
be
Hi, I want
sure
to sell
to
my video game I bought last. GameStop. It's like, hi, I just bought The Last of Us 2. I want to sell it back. I just bought it last week. It's like, here's $5, and I spent 60.
Be sure
They're so
to
notorious.
stock up on GameStop stock. Anyway, but no, this is another thing.
And Bitcoin. Don't forget to buy that too. It's
yes,
really hot right now.
yes, buy your stock in Bitcoin.
Any cryptocurrency, just buy
Yeah.
it.
or go with Dogecoin. Apparently, Elon Musk being sued over that. Yeah, but no, actually,
I actually made money on Dogecoin, by the way.
Oh wow, but
yeah, I bought it when it was low.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would hope so.
I bought it when it was $3.85.
Oh, jeez.
Go on.
But no,
no. I bought it very low, and I made some, a couple,
couple
I
bucks.
made some money, which is good. Not a lot,
Sweet.
but good. I made quite like I doubled my profit. How's that?
Gotcha. But Paramus. You know,
I know
the retail
like
mecca.
OCD day or
Retail mecca. What recent development in Jersey history do you think Paramus would jump on?
A recent development in New Jersey. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So something that became became real as of a couple months ago, I believe.
Oh, cannabis.
Cannabis.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And Paramus's take on cannabis is it is not going to be sold recreationally in the city of Paramus.
The
retail
Paramus made a decision.
Paramus made a decision, but it was not a unanimous decision. The mayor wanted, and I believe one of the other city council members wanted, but the rest of the city council voted against
Oh,
having
did
Paramus
not hear about
actually.
this.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not that cannabis doesn't exist in Paramus, and I'm not talking about
It does.
purchasers, but yeah, they actually have Rise actually has a, medical
Right.
distribute location.
Recreational dispensary
Yeah,
is right. Rise.
well, Rise has a medical dispensary in Paramus, but they will not be able to sell it recreationally.
Oh, yeah. And okay, so I'd been reading about this and I think it was going to be on Route 17. Am I correct on that? That's where Rise
The,
is,
the
or
the
no?
Rise one. I'm trying to remember where the Rise one is. I think it's actually off 17.
Okay.
I, I
So,
forget. It's one of those like former site of became Rise, but
right. Yeah,
I think it's right by 17.
I was misinformed because I thought that they had already opened recreationally, but I guess a decision was being weighed. Is that what it was?
Yeah, decision was being weighed, and for now, Paramus has decided to abstain from the recreational cannabis
Do
market.
you know, I mean, what a
I don't know
fort
how many millions of dollars they're losing.
I was gonna say, Nick, like, I mean, I'm just thinking, that corridor of Route 17. Can you imagine if, like, you got some space, and I'm trying to think of where, or what, but like near Garden State Plaza or something like that, in like in a complex, you put a recreational dispensary in there, you would get people from because the way that Paramus connects, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
All those different towns and cities. I can't even imagine how much money that they would
well,
make.
it's very interesting because of something we brought up on one of our prior pods.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah, because
in alignment with this, who's set to actually profit from this?
who's that?
The little town of Rochelle Park.
Oh yeah. Now that I did know they did
Big,
open.
yeah, they opened on Route 17.
That's what I'm confusing it with.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, that's the thing. Because Rochelle Park is actually one of the smaller towns here in Bergen
Right.
County, it actually falls on the property lines of Rochelle Park on Route 17, the Ascend dispensary, which does now sell recreational cannabis.
Yep. Right. Right.
Yeah, so it's very strange that Paramus actually, abstained again, not unanimous. Yeah, that word.
Unanimously.
Yeah, that's the word. From doing this because the mayor himself wanted to take advantage, but now, well, again, more power to Rochelle Park.
I know. I think I'd read on Reddit that there was some preliminary figures from cannabis sales in New Jersey, and they were really, really, no pun intended, high. Yeah, I mean, there was it was quite the windfall, the profit windfall from early sales so far. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm not going to
but
say
we're
as
only talking a
staggering
couple
maybe
of
as
months.
other.
We're only talking a couple of months at this point. That's it.
Right. Yeah, and you think about it, there's only now I'm pretty sure I have this correct. Currently, there's 16 operating recreational dispensaries in New
I know
Jersey
three more actually just got their license for
to sell. Right?
to sell
Yeah,
recreational. I forget what locations throughout the state, but yeah, three more did get the okay now.
yeah, yeah.
But
For me, I know the Rockaway, which that's the next town over. I believe my town, Randolph, did say no to recreational dispensaries, which is hilarious because I've told you that there is a place called Dirty Jerseys, which is right up the street, and then there's another place called Legal Leaf, I think is the name of it. They're selling all freaking how do you call it? Delta 8, Delta 9, products. So it's like they're already selling these offshoot.
is that anything like the Delta Force or?
Oh, very much so. Chuck Norris is behind the counter.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
So I don't understand, like, why that not if they're allowing these two places to operate, like, let or whatever legal uh, the locally run government. Well, I'm sorry, state run. I mean, who runs? I mean, the jurisdiction is it obviously. When they open,
When they
is
open
it
it's the
is it a
borough.
I guess I'm trying to. Oh, it's the borough. Okay, I was wondering, like, in other words, who makes decisions like regulating them? Is it like does a town in conjunction with the
Well,
state,
yeah, I think yeah, the borough in conjunction with the state. Yeah, what
like as
as
far
far
as
as
the
that goes.
rules and
Yeah,
regulations and all that?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah, because they still have to follow the state rule.
right.
But yeah, but the borough has to enforce the local aspect of that.
Yeah,
And but yeah, the borough gets the windfall.
right. So yeah, anyway. The next town over, Rockaway, is the one that's going to open a recreational dispensary, but I think they have to get all their ducks in a row with that, much like many other places still to open.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
It,
that are pending.
it, just a couple of real quick.
Yep.
I have to say hi to my wife. Hi,
Hello,
Tracy.
Tracy. Long time no
and
see.
and hi to Tracy's dad. So, hey,
Hello,
Daddy.
Tracy's dad.
Yes, it's being it is
Happy Father's
Father's Day
Day.
as well.
Yes.
Yes, happy Father's Day.
Happy
Also,
Father's Day.
our friend B- Bill McCaslin.
Hi, Bill.
He says he loves this podcast. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
And he's actually watching right now from Virginia City, Nevada.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome. Yes. Very
How are the
cool.
temperatures out there, Bill, in Nevada?
I'm sure very cool, mild. Oh no,
Yeah.
probably not.
Our
But
weather is hilarious. Like yesterday was 60 degrees. Today is going to be what, like 70 or 5 or 70?
well,
I don't
they
know.
said about 75 today. So
75, yeah.
yesterday's high was 70.
And then the day
So
before yesterday, I think it hit 80. Am
what?
I right on that? Or
Oh,
no?
it hit higher than that.
Oh, well, there you go.
It
I
hit
just think
close to it hit close to 90 2
this
days
weather
ago.
it's so funny. I mean, it's like, and then, and now
Wheel
I think the rest of
of
the week we have,
weather.
totally. That's exactly what it is. Roll the dice. It's a crapshoot every day here with what it's going to be. So anyway,
Bill also
go on.
reminds everyone to like and subscribe to all the shared universe pods, and we agree that there are
Absolutely agree.
many great pods. We got American Loser with KP Burke, which again,
Yep.
for all those that have not watched, please check out his special. That
We have our other friends. Go on.
yeah,
Yes.
Escape from Jacksonville. You can find it
Yes.
out on
Very
YouTube,
funny.
and and also I believe it may be on like iTunes, and also I believe some of the streaming apps, like Spotify or
Yes.
I forget all the. And I don't really use them, so yeah.
iTunes or that
But
stuff.
but yeah, like also you were
Comics
gonna
on
say
Cannabis.
comics on
Comics on
cannabis.
Cannabis with our friends Ed Show,
Ed and Derek.
Ed and Derek. Yeah.
Definitely. Also, Ed is part of another pod called Poke the Woke.
Yep.
Let's see. What are some of the other great pods we got? Oh, we got comics, cartoons, and craft brews with Joe
Stu in
Weber. Oh, Stu in it. Yes, Mr. Stu Greenberg.
All right.
Did you see the great news with Stu?
Oh boy, I may have, but remind me.
Stu is going to be a character in
What?
one of the Kevin Smith produced. Kevin's coming out with some comics, some like an anthology comic thing.
Right.
What the hell is it? What's the name? But I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
Okay.
maybe our friend Chris will remind us. But yeah, there's a new comic thing. I believe it's being produced by Dark Horse, and there was basically a little lottery thing to become a character in one of Kevin's stories.
Right.
Stu actually hit the lottery, and he found out, I believe, on his birthday.
Oh man, congratulations!
Which even better. A belated happy birthday,
so
Stu.
Awesome. Nobody more deserving because he is such a fan of the whole, View Askew universe. And Kevin
Definitely.
Smith. And it's nice to see someone who's as passionate as he is about.
Yeah, and deserving.
Yeah, right, and deserving 100% that,
Yeah.
no better person that could be, represented in Kevin Smith's world than him. So,
But yeah, shout out to Stu in it. As I
yeah.
said, comics, cartoons, and craft brews. Yeah, like Joe Weber from that pod was the actual host of KP's album release party that he
Oh,
had. So,
that was at the Smod Castle, or
oh no, it wasn't at Smodcast. It
it
was
wasn't
at
Jacksonville.
no, it wasn't in Jacksonville. It was
Oh,
Escape from Jacksonville, but it
Escape.
was at Tiff's over in Mars
Oh, okay,
Plains.
that's what was
Basically,
recorded.
about like 6-8 blocks from my job. So,
Oh my God, how convenient.
but yeah, let's jump into. Okay, so we hit Paramus there in the malls.
We did.
Let's talk about the Meadowlands.
Let's.
We did a pod about the Meadowlands some months ago, and with the Meadowlands, did you hear the big the big happening this week?
I do not think I have heard anything, and which is funny because my Google newsfeed has a lot of articles from NJ.com, and I believe I do not know this. But when you tell
Oh,
me, I'd be like,
interesting.
oh yeah, of course I knew this.
Well, the
Are they putting
MetLife.
in it? Are they putting in a Chick-fil-A?
No, I haven't
Oh,
heard anything as far as that
yeah,
goes. But MetLife Stadium, formerly Giant Stadium. I still
yeah.
feel weird saying that. But
I know, right?
for the history of the stadium, please go back to our prior pod and how MetLife was what like of course won won the war there, but the the other company that almost got the naming rights to the stadium had an interesting background. But anyway, MetLife Stadium in the Meadowlands.
Oh, it's
We'll,
being
we'll,
renamed.
what's that?
Oh, says MetLife Stadium being renamed.
No, it's not being renamed.
Okay,
No,
go on.
Snoopy still rules. MetLife Stadium in the Meadowlands will be one of 16 North American venues to host matches in the 2026 Men's World Cup.
Oh, now that is news.
Now, the interesting piece is the winner of the championship game still hasn't been named. Not the winning country, but the winning actually location to host the championship game has not been named.
All right.
But with the capacity of MetLife Stadium, they're one of the top, if you want to say, locations in the running to host the finals.
Wow. God, that'd be so. I would get tickets for that.
Yeah, and it's expected to be watched by more than 1 billion viewers worldwide.
That is incredible, but not surprising.
No.
When I've been over in Europe, I mean, everyone is glued to soccer on the television sets.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
the pubs.
Did you actually get a chance to take part when the Giant Stadium hosted a couple of matches of the World Cup back in
No,
1994?
no, I did not get a chance to go to that.
Yeah, I got to take part in the Italy versus Norway match. Well,
That
not
must
take
have
part in the match itself, but I actually got to go and actually enjoy the Italy versus Norway match.
That must have been
And
extremely exciting.
oh, it was. Yeah, like it was a definite different excitement than if you want to say your standard, your standard U.S. sporting event. There was a different kind of energy in the air.
Yeah.
And of course, there are no Italian Americans in the North Jersey area, right?
No, I don't know of any, honestly. It's mostly just like Czech immigrants. That's it.
But yeah, so it was fantastic, and everyone
Oh, I bet.
went nuts. Yeah, Italy won that game 1-0, even after the goalie got the red card, which was
Wow, that's rare.
yeah, which was early in the match too. So it was like one of those like, oh no.
What did he do exactly? He like ran at the player?
He I believe had run out of the the restricted area for the goalie, because
Oh, I thought you were
there's
gonna.
a there's a point where the goalie is not supposed to be outside of, and he passed that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the exact what the rule was, but yeah, it was just all of a sudden it's like red card, huh? Oh, this made the game a lot closer.
Wow.
But Norway could not capitalize,
No, they lost.
and 1-0 was the
The
final
final
score.
score. Mm. Well,
But
that's exciting news. It really is.
it is exciting news, from the Meadowlands, and uh, yeah, like with the Meadowlands, hopefully they will be more prepared for some of these large scale events. Again, they deal with the football games and such all the time, concerts. But remember we had the 2014 Super Bowl?
I do remember that.
Yeah. Well, an estimated 33,000 riders overwhelmed New Jersey Transit, the shuttle out of MetLife.
Oh my God.
Leaving people like stranded on the platforms for hours.
Wow. Yeah, that they need to get their logistics together.
Yeah, 5 years later, WrestleMania 35, fans ran into the same issue.
Oh my God. That's embarrassment. Let's fire our transportation secretary right now.
But last summer, New Jersey Transit approved a $3.5 million contract to to a company, HNTB, to design a dedicated transit route that could carry like 20,000 people an hour between the Meadowlands and Secaucus Junction.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a start.
Yeah, so I don't know what form the transit will take. Like what are we talking here? Rail, light rail, buses, cable car, submarine. I don't know. It's swampland.
Monorail.
Monorail. Sorry. Everything leads back to The Simpsons. But anyway, going to that subject of New Jersey Transit, did you see what happened 2 days ago?
Is it transit related?
Oh, it is transit related. Very
Hmm.
much transit related.
I'm gonna say no on this one.
Wow.
This is what
okay.
happens when I work my Sunday to Wednesday schedule. Like something happens on Thursday, I'm like in the dark.
The rest of the week is like
yeah. Like,
Pete does not know anything but
there's a war in Ukraine. What? Anyway, dead.
On Friday, there was a bit of a sick out.
Oh, I did not hear about this.
For the engineers.
Okay.
Of the New Jersey Transit trains.
Well, that would have paralyzed and crippled the transit system that day. I mean,
and it did.
Yeah.
People were stuck for hours. New Jersey Transit started honoring, for people's tickets and such, to use other forms of New Jersey Transit, such as the buses and things, so that they could actually get home on Friday night.
Wow.
Because it kind of interrupted service just a little bit.
Probably a lot of pissed off commuters on that day.
Oh yeah. Very pissed off commuters.
Yeah.
So they resumed operations yesterday, but apparently this was what do they call this? When a union kind of organizes a bit of an illegal job action. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Where it's like, okay, they're striking, but then there's like, okay, everyone just calls in sick, for the day. It's like, oh crap. So
I didn't even know that was the term used, and I'm in a union.
Yeah. So,
shout out to IAPE.
Woohoo!
Good. I'm getting free swag from them, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
But but the call-outs were apparently a union protest about not receiving holiday pay for Juneteenth. Remember, New Jersey
Oh
celebrated Juneteenth on Friday.
yeah. Right. Right.
So,
Wow.
yeah, the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen is the only rail union in New Jersey
Huh.
that New Jersey Transit bargains with. And apparently, like, their union contract expired in 2019, the end of
Really?
2019. Yeah, so they've been going without, I guess, a new contract for the past couple of
For
years. Well,
yeah. Right.
again, we had this thing called a what is that
What was
called?
it?
A
Starts with a
pandemic. Yeah, yeah.
That's it. I know. I couldn't think of.
That's the
I was
word.
thinking like something I cook my eggs in, and then like a Democrat, and then I'm sick. I don't know, whatever. Pandemic.
But
Right.
yeah, pandemic.
It's
But
all such a
yeah,
blur.
but still, even like pandemic or not, they've been actually running without a contract for the past few
Mm,
years. So, okay, New Jersey Transit, you might want to get on this, you know, work on this a little quicker so you don't have things like this happen.
right. Exactly.
But here's something real quick. Do,
Please.
do you know the history of New Jersey Transit?
Not really, but did we do an episode on it?
No.
Well, then let's
Well,
hear it up.
so let's throw take a gander or take a guess. Let's say last year. How much ridership do New Jersey Transit have?
Oh God. In New Jersey
Now,
alone.
this is just trains, light rail, and buses.
Mm,
Take a guess.
is 600,000 too much?
No,
Yes, right. No. Oh, you mean it's higher?
a little bit.
720,000
No,
less.
you might want to go even higher.
Oh God. All right, 810,000.
You're not even in the ballpark.
What? It's over a million?
Oh, it's over a million.
That's crazy.
You,
1.2 million. I don't know.
no, well, so Pete doesn't go on too long with his guesses.
Please.
How about 133 million,
Wow.
463,800 riders
That's insane.
just for 2021. And again, 2021
Yeah.
was not yet a typical year for New Jersey Transit because we're still
Crazy.
dealing, with the after effects yet of a pandemic.
Hmm.
So yeah, so on a good year, I'm curious to know how many riders New Jersey Transit has.
Yeah. Me too.
But it's our like it covers 5,325 square miles of New Jersey, and it's
That
the largest statewide public transit system and third largest provider of bus, rail, and light rail transit by ridership in the United States itself. Period.
that's really just incredible.
Yeah.
Wowie.
But well, you got to figure though with New Jersey Transit, you're talking about we have a lot of lines that cross over into New York,
Mm-hmm.
like New York City.
Right.
We have others that cross over into Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So those two big hubs, we're right in the middle.
Mm.
So yeah, that's part of the reason we have such high ridership. But you want to take a guess what year New Jersey Transit was founded? This baffled my mind.
I feel like the year is going to be later than it.
Okay.
Oh boy, is it like 1935?
No. Take two more guesses.
Yeah, yeah, and I'll go higher. 1953.
Nope.
Watch, it's like below all this, and I'm just 1966.
Nope. What would
Go
you
on.
say if you and I were already alive, and you were already a teenager? I was like
What?
an 8-year-old. Um, New Jersey Transit was founded July 17th, 1979.
Wow. Well, that's remarkable.
Yeah, it was an offspring of the New Jersey Department of Transportation, and basically the state mandated, we got to address a lot of these like pressing transportation problems that we were having at the time.
Hmm.
So they passed what was called the Public Transportation Act of 1979 to acquire, operate, and contract for transportation service in the public interest. So one of the largest bus services. You want to take a weird guess on who ran one of the largest bus services in New Jersey at the time? It's
Um,
another company in the state of New Jersey.
Pfizer? I don't know.
No, how about Public Service Electric and Gas?
Oh, PSE and G?
PSE&G actually operated the
Wow.
the largest private bus service at the time. I'm like, huh?
That is
It's a very strange history of New Jersey Transit. Like, I was expecting something like going back, like early 1900s or maybe late 1800s, because here's the thing: train service is not new to New Jersey. Bus service is
right.
not new to New Jersey. It's just the organization of everything didn't happen until 1979.
Wow. God, that's
But
remarkable to me.
if you actually look at the bus service maps
Hmm.
to see the routes, North Jersey has what they would call a web with a lot of overlapping routes and just looks like a deranged spider. In South Jersey, however, the routes are actually what they call spoken hub. It's a spoken hub fashion with the routes basically emanate from Trenton, Camden, and Atlantic City.
Hmm.
So if you look at the routes on a map, it looks nice and organized down in South Jersey, while North Jersey looks like a madman just
Just went like
drew in multi highlighters on the map.
with a Sharpie, just like, I know I can fix this. I can do this. Yeah.
But again, this was that's the bus side of things. Now the
Hmm.
train side of things, until 1983, the commuter rail service in New Jersey was run by another company. I don't know if you remember Conrail.
Yes, I actually do remember
Yeah, Conrail.
Conrail.
Yeah, the consolidated railroad system, basically in the northeastern United States. They took some of these different lines and made this consolidated company. Well, New Jersey Transit's like, you know what? We're going to handle New Jersey from now on. So yeah, they took over the New Jersey portion of Conrail in
Huh.
'83,
Okay.
and yeah, the only things that New Jersey Transit does not themselves run is Amtrak itself.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Thank
Amtrak
God.
is not run by New Jersey Transit. The actual path,
Hmm.
the Port Authority Trans Hudson, the PATH train, New Jersey Transit actually
Yes.
doesn't run that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's actually owned by the Port Authority of New Jersey and New York.
Of New. Okay.
Yeah, the Port Authority runs that part of things. And there's a few other lines that actually New Jersey Transit doesn't run. I thought all trains in New Jersey were run by New Jersey Transit, but
We're run by me
yeah,
too.
yeah. But PATCO, which is the Delaware River Port Authority, runs that one.
Hmm.
SEPTA, they run. Yeah,
Yeah, know them too.
that's like, what is it? South. what is it? Southeast. It's basically a Pennsylvania.
Southeastern
Yeah. Hold on.
Southeastern Pennsylvania Transit Authority.
That's the one. Yeah. Well, anyway,
I don't know. Is
they
that
they
what it
run
is?
some lines down there. The West Trenton line, the
Okay.
Trenton line, and a couple of tourist trains in southern and northwestern parts of Jersey. Those are the only ones that New Jersey Transit does not run. But since the inception, now rail ridership has quadrupled since they started.
Wow.
But
Incredible.
yeah, do you know? Number one, do you know what light rail is? I always heard the term, but I never knew what light rail is.
Is it light rail like almost like a tram style system
Yes,
or no?
yeah, it really is. It's like
Hmm.
basically tram systems. I always thought it was like, okay, light rail. It's like, okay, they weigh the locomotives, and it's like, okay, you're light rail and you're standard. But no, yeah, it's tram systems, and we have a few light rails in the state. So, like, we have the River Line from Trenton to Camden along the Delaware. We got the Newark Light Rail and the Hudson Bergen Light Rail. Those are the light rails that are run by New
Okay.
Jersey Transit throughout the state. We also there's a bunch of ongoing projects currently for New Jersey Transit. But do you remember the one project in the early 2000s that got canceled? Well,
Was it like a high speed train?
it wasn't necessarily high speed. It started under one
Then I'm
governor
at a
and got
loss.
canceled under another. Let's
Was
see
it
if you.
canceled by Christie?
You're right. It was canceled by Christie. It was the Access to the Regions Corps, or ARC. Do you remember the ARC tunnel project?
Okay.
Yeah, it broke ground
I vaguely, yeah.
in 2009.
Right.
And this was going to be, they were going to use dual power locomotives, a new rail junction at Secaucus, and it was going to be a one trade ride between Port Jervis, Maine, the Bergen County, Pascack Valley, Raritan Valley, New York Penn Station. It was going to be a single line that they were going to have access to the Region Corps. It would also alleviate some of the
Probably
current.
gonna be a lot of money too.
Yeah, well, here's where that comes in. $3 billion was allocated to that project. But then October 7th, 2010, Christie canceled it due to concerns the state of New Jersey was going to be solely responsible for the overruns, even though it connected into New York. That was like the end piece. So yeah, he was worried that like our state would only be the one paying, while New York would be one of the ones benefiting from it. So
right.
So that project got canceled, but Amtrak actually unveiled the Gateway project, which is going to handle some of what the ARC was supposed to handle. So that is one of the current projects that is going.
Ongoing project, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's some other ones too. Basically, there's been some train lines that have been like dormant for years that they're trying to kind of re-access, repurpose. Like there used to be the Central Railroad of New Jersey, and that ran to 1941, and that used to go down. What was it? I think it used to go down to Atlantic City and hit to Jersey City. So
Okay. Hmm.
they're trying to actually redo some of those lines. That's the Monmouth Ocean Middlesex or MOM project,
The Mom
which is kind of
Project.
funny to say on Father's Day. But anyway, yeah, these are some of the upcoming things here. Um, but being that it is Father's Day, I want to go off from New Jersey Transit here. Um, Pete, your dad,
Yes.
although he passed 2 years ago, um,
Yeah. Sadly, from COVID. Right at the
from COVID, yeah,
like I dare you. I think if you look statistically, if you think about it, this was only like I mean, the Easter weekend that my dad passed. I think he
yeah,
was, if I'm looking at figures, probably one of the first 1,000 people to die. I'd say in the state of New Jersey,
right,
from COVID.
yeah.
So it was so early on, yeah, when there was no vaccine, nothing. But um,
Hey,
yeah, I mean, my dad
I
had such a celebrated life. I
mm.
mean,
No, I'd like you to actually tell us like some about your dad because like I knew him as Pete's dad, but I also knew him as Dr.
yeah,
Riario. You want to expand on like some of tell us some of, about your dad.
yeah. So he was born 1934, and really in poverty in 19. I'm sorry, in East Harlem, New York, and my grandfather, his father, was an immigrant from Italy, from Parma, Italy, came over here and he worked as a chef in New York City. They had no money. I mean, lived in a very tiny apartment in East Harlem, and through just a lot of hard work, my dad ended up going to St. John's University, and from there went to the University of Louvain. I'm sorry, the University of Louvain in Belgium, um, and that's where he met my mother. My father was, you know, uh, working over there, doing like his residency as a physician, and he met my mother, who was a nurse there in the hospital. Came back, to buy an apartment in the Bronx, and then he worked for Calvary Hospital in the Bronx. Uh, Went on to become the director of the Brooklyn campus of Calvary Hospital. And along the way, he made a lot of great friends in New York City, like Cardinal Cook, who was the Cardinal of New York, and um, Pat Lynch, who's the how do you call it, he's the New York City PBA. He had some just really good friends out there, and just he had a long and storied career in New York City, working as a physician, as an oncologist, and it
Mm.
was a tough job having to see, because Calvary Hospital is it's kind of like the last resort place to see what they can do to help you, and it's a very prominently known hospital, in fact. But yeah, I mean, my dad traveled the world, went to Singapore, Vietnam. I mean, you name it, all over Europe, and he just the kindest, sweetest man, and instilled so much yeah, I know. I just how would I say, a lot of courage and fortitude in me, about even though I was just like I mean, a complete maniac, I think, when I was like 16, 17. But he stuck by me. He knew that I would um snap out of it, I guess, and look where I am now. I mean, working for such a great company. Yeah. I've mentioned this on a prior podcast. It's just the strangest thing is that, I still have this very vivid memory. My dad used to iron shirts down in the basement, um, and listen to his classical music and his country music. And he would read the Wall Street Journal on a daily basis. It was that, and the Times, where it was like his favorite newspaper, but he was really kind of partial toward the Wall Street Journal. And it was lying around there. And I remember I picked up the Wall Street Journal. I think I must have been like 16 or something like that, maybe even younger, 14, let's say. And I looked at it and I saw all this financial news all over it, scattered all over the paper. And I'm like, what is this? Like, this looks so, like this is, it wasn't my jam back then at like 13, 14. And I mean, I just know he'd be so proud of me that now I am working for Dow Jones
Right.
and the Wall Street Journal. So it's just so crazy how things have just come, full circle like that.
Circle.
That I managed to get my head out of my ass and you know, go on to graduate college, which was an amazing aspect of it with great, great grades, and yeah, and end up, at the Wall Street Journal. So
No, but
but
yeah,
again,
I remember your
it's just
dad. Yeah.
celebrating my dad.
Hmm.
Like I said, he was just the most compassionate, kind man, and everybody that he met, they remembered him. That was
Hmm.
um the one glowing aspect of my father was how memorable he was
Yeah.
because he was so caring and um he always is selfless. He always thought of others before himself.
Definitely.
So yeah, he's missed,
It,
but
but
I know he's in heaven with my
I'm
mom, and
curious. When did he
that's
come
a
to New
happy thought.
Jersey? By the way, when did your dad come to New Jersey? Like,
Um,
again,
so
given that he did a lot of in New
I
York.
believe so. That was 1972 is
72.
when
Oh,
he
okay.
built the house here. Yep. So
Oh,
yeah, and
wow.
prior to that, obviously, yeah. I mean, no, my parents were older, like when they had my brother and I. Yeah.
Mm,
So yeah, he'd
that's
been, yeah, like I said, living in East Harlem and the Bronx for some time. Yep.
right, right. Because
But
that's what I remember that you're actually originally from over the river there.
that is correct.
and,
Yeah,
and I was
I've never lost any love for New York City, man. I mean, my heart is because that was the joy was spending weekends every single weekend going to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Museum of Modern Art with my
mm,
mother and father, and walking Fifth Avenue, Lexington, Madison. I mean, that it was literally you could set your watch by it. They love New York City and instill that love of it in me
mhm.
to this day. So I haven't been
Very
back there. I'll
cool.
tell you, man, only a few times in the last since COVID. Yeah, so
Yeah, no,
got to get back
understood.
on there, but it seems like some normalcy's returning here, so you can do that. Yeah,
Yeah, no, but no, thank you
you still there,
for
Nick?
like
Oh,
sharing your dad with us. Like I just wanted to give you the opportunity. It's like, and the listeners the opportunity to like know a little more about us by learning a little bit more about the people that were important in our lives. So
absolutely, and thank you for that giving me
oh
that
no problem.
the
Uh,
podium.
do you have
Hmm.
a quick game for us to end up here today?
Nick. So I am going to put the trivia game on hold because I actually have a kind of amusing game, and it's very quick. It's only there's only 6 items here.
Okay,
You're gonna
okay,
like this.
all right.
The
Listen.
game is called New Ready? New Jersey General or New Jersey General.
Oh no.
Now, New Jersey had our own football team.
Yes.
So I'm gonna read you 6 names.
Okay.
Now, you are gonna tell me, was this a general, an actual New
New
Jersey
Jersey
general,
General.
yes, from New
Okay.
Jersey, born in New Jersey, that that fought in the Revolutionary War,
Yeah.
or was it a player on the New Jersey Generals? Nick, do you want to just give a quick 2-liner to people out there who don't know about the New Jersey Generals?
Well, New Jersey Generals were part
Nick's
of
still
the USFL. that was a
correct. And what
early. I don't know. You want to say rival, but yeah, like their season coincided. Like it didn't coincide at the same time as the NFL. It had a different timing aspect as the NFL. So it was like while the NFL was on hiatus, USFL was taking over. But the USFL basically folded, and they got a settlement though against the NFL, and their the settlement total was $3. That's
$3,
what they
man,
won.
that might get you a McFlurry.
Maybe,
Well, it needs some
maybe
change.
small.
And I think the only notable person who came out of the New Jersey Generals was Herschel Walker, who's in the news
Correct.
again, right? Because
Yeah,
he's what was he
very
running
strange
for?
news. Yeah, he's going for running
And
for
Herschel
Senate.
was a Heisman Trophy winner,
Yeah, he was a Heisman Trophy winner, but yeah, he's running for Senate in Georgia.
and he
That.
won. Am I correct on that? Or
Well, The primary. He won the Republican
Oh, the primary.
primary.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Let me
Yeah.
make correct. Yeah. I
Yeah.
want to make that clear. He won the primary. Right. All right.
Right.
Let's get right to it. Here we go. John Cadwalader. Hold on. John Cadwalader.
John Cadwalader.
Football general or Revolutionary War general? John Cadwalader.
Cadwalader.
John Cadwalader.
I'm gonna say that's a New Jersey general.
And coming on the field, John. What?
Yeah, I'm gonna say. It's like, this is a tough one because we did have some generals were with harder to pronounce names too in the Revolution. I'm gonna say though this is a football general.
Nick, I'm sorry to inform you that he was a commander of troops during the American Revolutionary War.
That's what I'm saying. We actually did have some generals with some like harder to pronounce. We weren't all just British subjects. We also had some some other generals that joined the fray.
Yeah. And for the record, by the way, I did deliberately choose people that look like they might have that'd be very tough to tell. How about that? How about David Foreman?
Okay, that sounds like a football one. Foreman.
Yeah, David Foreman. You'd think that, but no, he was the Brigadier General of the New Jersey Militia during the Revolutionary War.
Wow! Like all of a sudden, my revolutionary.
This is a tough game.
Yeah, my revolutionary stuff just left my head. Okay, what's the next one?
I'm telling you, even I would completely fail this the game. All right, how about Garrett McGinn, McGhin, Garrett McGinn.
Okay, at some point it's got to be the football one.
You'd think, right?
You'd think.
So what's your guess?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Actually, Garrett McGinn actually sounds familiar too. So I'm going to say he's the football one.
Nick, ding, 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 you got it.
Yeah,
he was a tackle for the New Jersey Generals.
Yeah, because that name actually sounded familiar from the football.
All right. Hey, how about Frederick Frelinghuysen? Frelinghuysen? I don't know how you pronounce it.
Frelinghuysen?
Frederick Frelinghuysen.
I'm going to say that's what you call it, a revolutionary general.
Yes, you are correct, Nick. He was general under Washington for the 1790 campaign. How about, we got, let's do one more. How about that? Yeah, one more. Landon Lenoir.
Landon Lenoir. Oh, God.
Don't you hate this game?
Yes. I'm going to say this one is one of the other football ones.
Nick, you closed it up correctly. He was the wide receiver for the New Jersey Generals, so you've done it.
Okay, so I was like,
Great job.
I got 3 out of 5.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. That's really good.
It's decent, but it's just like some of those names, like, wait a second, that's right. Wait, hold on. Yeah, that is a revolutionary name. What was the other person?
I don't even know how this game came to me. I was just sitting at the table, writing out trivia questions, and then I'm like, how about New Jersey Generals or New Jersey General? I have these mad thoughts sometimes, and I don't know where they come from.
Like I said, what was the other person on your thing? Matt Anthony Wayne? Because I know he's a revolutionary general.
Oh, who was that?
I'm saying you had another person. I'm like, was it Matt Anthony Wayne? But anyway,
right.
I just noticed the time. Yeah, we got to wrap up.
I know.
But if you enjoyed the pod, please like, follow, subscribe, and as Bill actually had told us and told you guys, check out all the other pods available on a Shared Universe podcast network. And if you want to start your own podcast, go to a Shared Universe, and
easy.
Or one of his mighty helpers will get you started. And you can follow us.
Great staff there.
Oh, definitely. And yeah, like if you want, yeah, hit us up at whatexitpodcast@gmail.com, or try out our what is that called? Twitter, which I haven't posted to in ages. But yeah, usually you'll find more of the
Me
stuff
neither.
on our Facebook page. So anyway,
Yes.
for What Exit Jersey Stories, I've been Nick Franco.
And I am Pete Riario.
You forgot who you were for a second? Thank you, everyone. Take care. Happy Juneteenth.
Thanks, everyone.
Happy Father's Day.
See you soon.
Take care.